In the vast expanse of history, few names arouse as much awe and fear as Genghis Khan. He is renowned as the fierce Mongolian leader who conquered lands and forged one of the largest empires in human history. While his military triumphs have filled countless pages in history books, there exists a lesser-known, more personal aspect of Genghis Khan's life that often remains in the shadows. Today, we delve into this rarely discussed topic, the haunting realities faced by his own daughters by their vile and monstrous father. History isn't just about dates and facts, it's about understanding how people lived. Let's delve into the personal side of Genghis Khan beyond the battles and conquests taught in school. To truly grasp the life of his daughter, we must first look at his own life. Genghis Khan's personal life was as intricate as the vast empire he ruled. Beyond the battles, his family played a significant role. He had many wives and children, so many that today, around 1 in 200 men are his direct descendants carrying his genes. Among his wives, one stood out, his first wife Borti. With her, he had 4 famous sons, Jochi, Chagatai, Ogaday, and Tului. Yet his daughters, Alakai Beki, Chichikin, Tumalan, Altun, and Tulagun are lesser known but equally important. It's easy to imagine that a man as beastly as Genghis Khan would exploit his daughters or maybe even kill them once they were born, but there's something different about this man that made him what people like to call the Beast of the East. Genghis Khan's daughters weren't just bystanders. Their lives were influenced by their father's strategic plans, vital for power and survival. In 13th century Mongol society, women enjoyed a higher status than in many other societies. They participated in decision-making and were respected. But being Genghis Khan's daughters changed the game. They became pawns in his political strategy, their lives controlled by his choices. They couldn't decide their paths, they were tools to strengthen his rule. Genghis Khan's brilliance extended beyond battle tactics. He was a master of statecraft, recognizing marriage's strategic value. Marriage wasn't about love, it was about power. Genghis Khan exploited this, using his daughters as links to forge alliances across Eurasia. These marriages connected him to allies far and wide, solidifying and expanding his political influence. It's intriguing how Genghis Khan's daughters fit into his grand plan. They were symbols of political connections essential for his ambition. In a world where marriages were political tools, they were instruments of power consolidation. While women in Mongol society held a relatively high status, Genghis Khan's daughters were exceptions to that. Their lives showcased how power dynamics could overshadow societal norms. Genghis Khan's daughters were like hidden strings holding together his vast kingdom. It was like a huge woven cloth, and these marriages were the threads holding it all in one place. But let's not forget how hard it was for his daughters. They were like pawns in a game used for Genghis Khan's master plan. They had to leave behind their homes, families, and everything familiar. Imagine going to live with people you hardly ever know in places that are totally strange, and nobody could really control what happened to them. Moving to these new tribes wasn't just changing houses, it was like tearing up their old lives. But these marriages were about more than just moving. They also meant always being careful about what they said and did. Imagine being watched all the time as wives of powerful leaders and as Genghis Khan's daughters. This might sound sad already, but it gets worse when we learn about what happened to each daughter. For a situation like this, Genghis Khan is said to have personally trained his daughters in very difficult and harsh surroundings. They were often left exhausted after the training sessions, and in most cases, they felt brainwashed. Let's explore them one by one. First on our exploration is Alakai. Being the eldest daughter of Genghis Khan, she found herself thrust into the center of her father's political affairs due to his conquests. Though this role was not of her choosing, she emerged as a prominent figure in the empire. Her sharp mind and strategic acumen, akin to her father's, became her hallmarks. Early in life, she was married to a Mongolian general, a decision that came with challenges. Despite the scenes, Alakai Beki carried the weight of political alliances, navigated delicate situations, and fostered unity among tribes. Despite her vital role in stabilizing the empire's region she lived in, her efforts went largely unrecognized. Her remarkable talents were often overshadowed by her father's towering reputation. Secondly, one of Genghis Khan's daughters was Chechen. She was married to the Uyghur chieftain as part of a very prominent agreement. You see, Genghis Khan made a very clever decision. By having this alliance, he could use the Uyghur soldiers in his Mongol war machine. It was like a smart move in a game. This way, he not only had the Uyghur troops fight alongside him in battles, but he also made his rule over his empire stronger. But for Chechen, it was a bit more complicated. Imagine, she had to leave her familiar home and live in a new place with different people and their ways. It's like moving to a new town where everyone does things differently. She faced a lot of difficulties trying to fit in and understand these new customs. However, as time went on, she managed to adjust. It's like she learned the new rules of the game and played her role as the chieftain's wife really well. Tului's story resembled that of her sisters. She too was married for political reasons, uniting her with the powerful Karai tribe. But this alliance, while significant for Genghis Khan, posed challenges for Tului. The exact nature of her feelings isn't known, yet it's heartbreaking to imagine her being forced into a marriage she may not have wanted. Mongol society often arranged marriages in early adolescence, thrusting young brides into unfamiliar lives. The youngest daughter, Kochen Beki, took a different path, however. She wasn't married to a foreign leader. Instead, she wedded one of her father's trusted generals. This decision brought her physically closer to her family, but it didn't erase her challenges. Like her sister, Kochen Beki faced the struggle of having her life's path chosen for her. She grappled with a role not of her own choosing, existing primarily to serve her father. And many believed that she, along with her sisters, enjoyed plotting their father's death. In some versions of this myth, Genghis Khan's daughters are portrayed as using their positions and influence to conspire against him or the empire. These stories might suggest that they formed alliances with rival factions, engaged in secret dealings, or plotted to undermine their father's authority. The motivations behind these alleged actions could range from personal ambition to political maneuvering. The Mongol Empire was vast and diverse, with numerous power struggles and rivalries. Competing factions might have propagated stories of betrayal or conspiracy as part of their own political agendas. The painful experiences of Genghis Khan's daughters extended beyond their personal anguish. Their distinct personalities significantly impacted the future of the Mongol Empire. Through their arranged marriages, they solidified political alliances, spread Mongol influence, and ensured the continuation of Genghis Khan's lineage. This influence extended across diverse Asian ruling dynasties. In this myth, Genghis Khan's daughters are depicted as cunning and ambitious women who sought to manipulate their father's decisions and wield power within the Mongol Empire. The myth might suggest that they used their positions as his daughters to influence policy, marriages, and other important matters to their advantage. For example, the myth also describes scenarios where Genghis Khan's daughters are believed to have strategically advised him or plotted behind the scenes to control the empire's affairs. That's a power move for sure. On top of that, there have been rumors and myths suggesting incestuous relationships within Genghis Khan's family, including with his daughters. These claims are often sensationalized and lack credible historical evidence. The closer the daughter was to him, the more the chances of him exploiting his own daughters. It's even said that before marrying them off, he would take a taste of them just so he could test if they would be enough to lure the men. While the authenticity of this source is still questionable, Genghis Khan also indulged in teaching his daughters different sexual ways to take advantage of a king and make them obsessed. It may sound nasty to most of us, but this definitely was the harsh reality of a man as brutal as Genghis Khan. In conclusion, what's really impressive is that some of Genghis Khan's daughters turned their difficult lives into opportunities. A few of them became important in their own right. For example, Alakai Beki, who was married off to create alliances, managed to effectively lead the empire at times when there was no official ruler. Despite being used as pawns in power struggles, these women showed strength and made their mark. Overall, Genghis Khan's relationship with his daughters was quite different from a typical father-daughter bond. He never prioritized their well-being. If you enjoyed the video, do remember to subscribe to Past Perspectives. This is also so if you're interested in learning about the harsh actions Genghis Khan took against his enemies. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys, and until next time, bye for now.